And his assistant asked me if I would like to come to the throne speech, because it was there that the premier was going to make a big announcement about organ and tissue donations. So what I want to do at this time is just play you back what happened after that, because my words could mean nothing. You know, a picture usually is 1,000 words. So I'm going to do that now.
Ends September 30th in Toronto, after which he'll meet Premier Mike Harris.
There's talk about me being acknowledged at the throne speech on the 21st and having an audience with him soon after my walk is finished. And we're going to tell him I'm going to give him my report. We got a really good feeling we're going to get his.
And that's why I'm happy to see George working so hard to raise awareness. Like me, thousands of people across Ontario were inspired by George Marcello and the whole step-by-step team as he walked across the province. And that's why I invited George to join me in the legislature for the throne speech, our inaugural throne speech this session. We announced an advisory committee to raise awareness with George's help, and we asked Don Cherry to be honorary chair of that advisory committee. George's Ontario Walk was an unqualified success, helping thousands of people to choose to sign for organ donation, and I know he can do the same through the Cross Canada Walk. In closing, George, I believe I can speak for everyone here today in wishing you the best of luck as you embark on your coast-to-coast journey, and I can assure you you have my support and our government's support, and any support that I can bring. I'll be meeting, in fact, with the premiers from across the country early in February, and I'll enlist support from them, so you have a friendly reception as you go from border to border across this country.
Members of the Legislative Assembly, invited guests, fellow citizens, welcome to the 37th Parliament of the Province of Ontario. George Marcello waited years for a donor before his life-saving transplant in 1995. This year, he walked across Ontario to increase awareness of organ donation. In response to Mr. Marcello's mission, and on behalf of the people of Ontario, Premier Harris has accepted as a Millennium Challenge the goal of doubling the organ donation rate by 2005.
Why I stopped there is what happened in October after the throne speech and the announcement was made that $120 million would be put into a new agency that was going to be created so that the rate of organ donations could be improved and tackled and all the issues addressed. This was like an explosion of news, especially those that were in the organ donation game. I don't think anything has ever been heard of that magnitude because this issue has been constantly ignored. As a matter of fact, before I did the walk, people were still under the impression that anybody that received a organ transplant were hooked up to a million machines and it was only a matter of time before they would pass away. Nobody really knew what the success stories of organ donation was, and that there was a very critical shortage. So this was big news. And so what usually happens is when the government comes up with an idea to address something, they create a new agency, and then they get somebody to scout to bring in all the players that are going to run the agency. So at that time, it was called the Premier's Advisory Board on Organ and Tissue Donations. And during the time of this board, what they were doing was assembling the team together that was going to manage the $120 million and to uphold the mission, because that's the reason why the agency was being created, to double the organ donation rates by 2005. So that's pretty simple. It makes sense. So everybody was in heaven, especially those people that were on the waiting list. Hope was just around the corner. Things were going to get done. So during that time, I was also presenting my report, and this was based on all the information that we have gathered while we were in Ontario, because while we were doing our Ontario walk for the past 5 months, we were talking to literally hundreds of thousands of people, including health officials, including contacting other countries on, what are the ways we can fix this problem. And we came out with a list of suggestions. The list of suggestions that we came out with in 1999, just to fast forward on this, all of them were finally fully accepted by George Smitherman's team in 2007 when he did that Citizens Panel on Organ Donations. So 8 years later, and I might add that not all these suggestions have still been acted on, but the suggestions that we provided in 1999, only a few have been acted on since 2007. And I can go through every single suggestion that we brought to him. And these are all areas that could improve the rate of donations, including looking at a new system that the Europeans were using at that time, and heart dead donations, and all kinds of other things, live stranger donations. I'm also looking at the possibility of creating a federal system with a provincial mandate, which seems to work more effectively in all the countries that have used that. That was another, these are all things that we brought to this advisory board during the time they were assembling the team. And we have been repeating over and over and over again for the last 9 years now. It's actually been 9 years. And I was really hoping to be part of this new agency, and everybody thought I would be part of this new agency, and all the and members of the step-by-step team. And I showed you that last clip there, where it shows that that didn't happen. All of a sudden, in January 2000, I find out that I'm not going to be part of this agency, that they had already selected their members, and they were already in the process of constructing an agenda, and that I wasn't going to be included. And up to this day, there was never an explanation on why that happened. That's one of the million-dollar questions that before I die, I hope to find out. Why me or any members of the step-by-step team were not included in this agency. So during that time, I was planning to do the Canada walk, and the Liberals at that time were hearing about what happened with my plight, and all of a sudden, I'm gaining new allies with the Liberals, and I just want to show you the next clip.